right spot here and I'll get up there and show you what I'm doing. So I've completely added this 2x6. This 2x6 didn't even exist. It was a 2x4 and a 2x4 with a 4-foot on center span. So I went to a 24-inch on center. And now what I want to do is I want to support this. This 2x4 is only supported at the wall and up on top with a small plywood shim. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding in some extra trussing, some extra support in the truss. And it'll look something like this. And then I'll put some either 1x4 plywood on here to support this as well. So that's what I'm looking at right now. So this is just a super simple way to give it a little more strength. And I'll screw it from both sides. Just gonna get this up there for now. Make sure that's centered. There we go. That makes a big difference. And I'm gonna hit this from the other side. Suck it in that way. Alright, that's it. I don't know if a person's better off converting a shed, building from scratch. I mean, if you already have the knowledge to convert the shed, why not just build it from scratch? I mean, it would be cheaper, quality control would be better. Yeah, quality control would be better. You'd save money. I don't know, some of the reasons you might buy a shed like we did. I guess I didn't really think about that until I got going on it. I could have just probably built it. I'm gonna build the additions. But some reasons people might buy a shed to convert instead of just building something from scratch is time. You order it and a week later it's delivered, so you can just get going on the inside. Finance the shed, and it would save you a little bit of money up front from buying building materials. But the whole point we're doing is we want to have a debt-free living situation. A little money on the land, but we don't want to have a huge mortgage. Trying to get away from all that. And that's kind of the story behind this, which I'm going to talk about here one of these days. It's the whole reason we're doing this and the cost of it, and talk about some affordable living. Is it worth it? Get a couple more screws. If you were to buy this, it'd be somewhere between 75 and 100,000 finished and delivered. You know, in a mobile home nowadays, double wide mobile homes like 120,000, and I've seen them as high as 300,000. And that's just for the house, not the land, none of that. All right, we're looking good. Looks to me like I've got one more truss I need an upright on, and one truss I need these diagonals on. So let's get that knocked out. Holy cow. Wow. There we go. All right, so I'm going to kind of show you the side of the shed that I haven't done anything with. All right, so the shed comes like this. This is factory how it comes. It's got your 2x4 joists, 4 foot on center. And then 2 foot on center above that, you've got 2x4 rafters. And that's it. And it really has no ridge beam per se. It's kind of a makeshift truss that they make at the factory. So there's not a lot of structure, not a lot of support. Now, luckily we're in the South and we don't get a lot of snow load or anything, or this may have to be a little bit different, but this is how they do it here in Tennessee. So obviously I'm not comfortable keeping it that way since we're making this a living area. This kind of progresses from factory to what I'm doing here, which is adding 2x6s every 24. So what that does is it creates a 24-inch on center instead of a 48-inch on center. And it gives me a little more structural support holding these walls together. Then I come down and I put another 2x6 sistered to the factory 2x4. And I screw that in. Now what I end up with is 2x6s 24 on center. And one thing I've realized, when I level these out, so they're all even, so when I put my sheetrock up or my tongue and groove or whatever I decide to do, it's not wavy. These 2x4 joists are like this as they go down. So what I've done is I've put a 2x4 screwed to the bottom of the joist. That's just temporary. And I make sure that they're all flush. All the 2x6s are flush. And what you'll see here is, look at the difference in that right here. Look at that. Then I clamp it together and I screw it. And then this board here will come down. But that'll give me a fairly, it should be straight, or at least a very close, fairly straight ceiling when I sheetrock it. All right, so that's where we're at. So we go from factory, 2x4s, 4 feet on center, 48 on center, to 2x6s, 24 on center. Bring that down. Let me bring you down here now. This is what we're ending up with. We're ending up with 2x6s, 24 on center. And then I've added in some supports from the joist to the rafter. And I put these uprights in on every single one. There's another one, so you can kind of see that. So that gives me a little bit of support. I'm not quite done yet. I think right here I'm gonna do either a plywood gusset or even just a 1x4 on each side screwed to the 2x4 and to the rafter. They did a gusset there. It's not much of one. I'm not sure if I need like a cross tie from there to there. I don't think so. But because I don't have a structural ridge beam, I'm still kind of figuring that out. But I'm feeling pretty confident that I've done good here. I haven't done anything to this. This is factory how this comes. Look how that's fastened. So they take a 2x4 and they run it all the way across. And they bring that 16 feet and they set it on top of here. And then they take another 2x4 for the rafter and they just go straight up to the corner. So they got one nail coming down, holding this rafter onto here, to the top plate. Look, there's nothing holding these two together. There's nothing holding the rafter to the joist. And the other side has nothing either. That's it. So I'm coming in and I'm adding 2x6s, I'm screwing all that together. And then I'm also adding these hurricane anchors. And the hurricane anchors will only fit one way. So they'll go on like this. As you can see, I've got this one attached here. But you cannot put one on this side because of the way it's twisted. You could maybe do that, but what happens then is the sheetrock's gonna get in the way. So there's other videos on these. I'm not gonna do a lot of talk about how the application and all that. You can look that up. But that's what I've done, and I think we're gonna be good.